Hello. Welcome to this very serious, very somber game of Monsterhearts. I'm your MC, Angie, and these are the players. What if I just did it like that the entire time?
Sure, make your choices.
From WBEZ Chicago.
From WBZ Chicago.
This is Monsterhearts.
Love it. Okay, sponsor us. WBEZ, you have new content. You're welcome. Dream job, honestly. So hi, welcome back to Monsterhearts. This is the finale, and we are here, and we are ready, and we are going to start with a recap.
Woo!
In the aftermath of the public embarrassment of Julia at the Let's Go Cafe, the awkward but cute one-off kiss with Stephanie, losing a likely job candidate in front of stepdad Steve, and poorly timed band practices with the Good Kush, Jake Donovan, played by Zach, Kale, played by Sophie, Zoe, played by Jen, and Colin, played by Matt, should be getting ready for the talent show on Friday, but instead are scheming for sex, love, and infamy. After school and a heated yet invisible confrontation with her stepdad Steve, Zoe is hesitantly eager to target a new potential addition to her Dark Powers army. Kale has no idea, so of course tries their very best to tag team a duel act with Zoe before jumping at the chance to help support a blossoming friendship with Jake. Jake, ever calculating, timed his entrance to Colin and Julia's band Unicorn Tuesdays practice, throwing Colin and Julia under the bus for all of the wrong they have done him. In a moment of rare bravery, Julia stands up to Jake, telling him that he makes her feel like a bad person, and Jake wastes no time pulling out all the stops on shutting Colin down when he backs her up, going so far as to invite Kale and Zoe to witness and take sides. Leaving the new couple emotionally devastated, they find solace in each other, sharing a kiss, and Julia makes Colin promise to help her bring Jake down. He does, of course. Promise. Why wouldn't he? Jake makes his way back to his house on the outskirts of town, where a simping Jenna is waiting for him. He hypnotizes her and bids her to help him kill Julia, and she agrees. Late that night, Colin wakes up to a text from an unknown number that says, "If you continue to see Julia, she will be the last thing you ever see." And that's where we left off. Welcome to Monsterhearts Part 3, the grand finale. So, hi everyone, welcome to the aftermath of that. We're gonna go ahead and oh god, pardon me. My voice is still not on there, so
La la la.
we're gonna
Nice,
go
nice,
ahead
yeah,
and skip from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way into Friday morning. But before we do that, does anybody have anything that they want to tend to that may have happened or may have been very present in those 3 days?
I don't let Julia out of my sight.
You don't let Julia out of your sight. Okay, so we'll start there. Give everybody else a little bit of time to think. I'll come back to you. Yeah. So Colin, after the kiss and after you and Julia inadvertently, maybe spent a night together. You wake up Tuesday morning. Would you have been at her house or at yours? Or somewhere else.
At Franklin's.
We were in Franklin's basement.
You were at Franklin's basement. Okay, so neither of you, and correct me if this is not what you saw for yourself, but maybe neither of you went home that night. Franklin got so high, he went to bed. You stayed in the basement with all the commotion easily enough. Mom would not have noticed who left and who came. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, you wake up Tuesday morning, Julia curled on the couch next to you. neither one of you really probably got a good night's sleep. One, because you're in an unfamiliar place, and two, you both saw the text that you got from an unknown number. And you can only assume, based on the shenanigans, that it's from Jake.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea that it's Jake related.
But you can't prove that it is.
I can't prove it. It's true. It's quite a startling thing to get as a text message, and I think it probably rattles Colin a decent amount. So I think Colin wants to expedite his promise to Julia as quickly as possible.
Okay. So yeah, you look next to you, and Julia is asleep. She kind of has a little bit of tension in her face, like not quite a full like grimace, but definitely kind of like a fitful expression. And as you start to stir, she kind of like pops awake suddenly and like looks, kind of gathers her surroundings, and then sees you, and just kind of like buries her hands in her face, and it's just like, oh my god.
Hey, Jules. So I've been thinking about this text message, and I was thinking like maybe we should call the police, but
No.
I don't.
No. I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. That just seems really like drastic, I guess. I don't.
Well, it is drastic for sure. But I think the real reason I don't want to call the police is because I think that after what I'm going to do, I don't want the police involved.
And she kind of like leans a little close to you and is like, so like, what are you going to do? Like, what would you do? Like, what is the plan?
Well, I think Jake needs a little bit of a public humiliation. At the very, very least.
Like
so
at the talent show.
Yeah, at the talent show.
Okay.
Perfect place.
And she like scoots a little close to you, like you're like face to face on the couch at this point. Like
the one place where Jake thinks that Jake is the biggest person on campus, the talent show. Everyone will go there to see Jake perform. And how funny will it be if Jake just, I don't know, how can we public humiliate Jake? I don't dump a bucket of pig's blood on his head. That would be funny. Oh my
god, no, he'd love that. He'd be such a martyr about it.
Yeah, he would love that. He would love that.
I feel like we have to. What matters most to him?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was me, but no.
His reputation?
His reputation, but like he wants to be the good guy all the time. Like we need to find a way to make it like apparent that he's not the good guy.
Yeah.
You know? And I just don't know. Like he's like, what have I done wrong? Like, what can you tell me what I've done wrong? And I'm like, get fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Like
obviously he's done a lot wrong, but
we need to like, yeah. I wonder if I could like, okay, tell me if this is crazy. Okay. And she like kind of snuggles up to you and she's like, what if I like text his sister or something? Or like, I don't know, like I met her once and it wasn't for very long, but like I feel like I could get in contact with her and like get some dirt. Just be like, hey, I hope things are going okay. Like I know Jake and I aren't together anymore, but like I still care about you. Or like,
yes.
like, do you think that's crazy? And then we could like dig. We have a whole week, so
yeah.
Well.
And then of course we can, that whole his father died thing is a little, I don't want to be insensitive, but it's suspect.
But I think like if I text his sister, I could like work that in and be like, so how are you doing? Like, with everything going on, and like if she's like, what are you talking about, or like if do you know what I mean, like
yes,
because I don't
perfect.
think if he like pulled it out of his ass, she's not gonna know, like
Yeah,
she's hardly
okay.
ever there.
Perfect. And what's the best downfall to a good guy reputation? You're telling people that your dad died to get an emotional advantage, and then also sending death threats via text message.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, screenshot that text message and send it to me too, because like I could get Becca. I think Becca's gonna run lights, and I think that she could like do a projection if we did it. Oof. And I'll show you. I'll screenshot all the texts of like him dumping me and like saying that like he had his fill and like blah blah blah. Like no.
Maybe we need to figure out who that text message the number is from. Maybe I'll send that. I don't know a lot of people at the school, but maybe you can text his sister and see if she knows what that number is. I don't know.
Yeah, if I get his sister's number, then I definitely can cross-check it. I don't. Oh, what? That's so. If he has a burner phone, then he's like fucking more psycho than I thought.
Yeah, he would be the person that would have a burner phone for sure. Everything's so calculated.
Listen, we have to. It's like 7. We need to get to school.
Okay, but
are we like what? I mean, last night was really fun.
Yeah. Do you want to make it official? I mean,
is that crazy? Is that stupid? Like, is that crazy?
Hey, it's not stupid to me.
Really?
I mean, it might. The only problem is that it's a lot of drama, and because obviously, and I don't. Maybe we could strategically do it.
Okay.
Maybe announce it at the talent show.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to school. Let's see what the vibe is. Knowing what we know and knowing.
Do you want to like make out?
Yeah. And she immediately just like launches herself onto you and just starts pretty much recreating again whatever happened last night. And so Matt, I don't know if we talked about it at the end of last night's episode, but let's assume that you can use your mortal sex move, which do you want to read it out loud just so people who haven't played Monsterhearts can know kind of what's up?
Yes. When you have sex with someone, it awakens something sinister within. The next time you take your eyes off them, they become their darkest self.
Cool. So we got that in mind. And you two have yourselves a lovely little morning romp. Unbeknownst to Franklin, who did not go downstairs because he just left straight for school. And then you casually, actually, just for fun, let me make sure. I'm gonna read the. Matt, go ahead and roll to run away. I want to see if this can be something that can be narrated in getting out of her house.
I got a +1 to this.
Yeah, with volatile.
So 7 total.
7 total. Okay, so you and Julia managed to sneak out pretty quietly of Franklin's basement. There's no real way to get out via like any like small window or something down below, so you have to go through that staircase up to the front door, and you can choose one of these. You run away, you run into something, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind. What are we?
You run into something worse. leave something behind, you cause a big scene. I think
You can also default to me if you want. That's always an option.
I think that we cause a big scene, mostly because we're like trying to sneak out, but
Yeah.
like while staring at each other's eyes.
Yeah, like holding hands and trying to go through the door at the same time.
Yeah, like bumping stuff. Maybe Franklin's mom is cooking something. We just knock some stuff off the table.
Yeah, so you so how this will go. You make it up the stairs and Julia opens the door a crack to make sure, like presses her ear to the door. Doesn't hear anything. Looks at you, gives like a little wink, and then like pushes the door open really fast, hoping that you can just like quickly exit, and just smack right into Franklin, who held his face, like, oh my fucking god! What the fuck?
Franklin.
What the fuck? Are you guys still here?
Need a ride to school?
Fucking Christ. Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, I have do y'all want a little hit before? No,
thank you.
No, okay.
But
he takes a big hit and like leaves. And he's like, "Bye, Mom. They were fucking in the basement. It's probably fine." And leaves. You see his mom pop out and be like, "Oh,
hey,
hi.
Mrs. Franklin's mom.
Hi, Colin."
Your son was just making a big joke. We were just coming here for early morning practice.
Well, don't need to hear any more about your practice. Go have a great day at school. Good luck.
Thank you.
With that,
Got a big
right.
project today.
She's like walking towards you, like Midwestern goodbye, like pushing you out the door to shut it.
Yeah. All right. Leave quickly.
Julia's like bright red and like laughing as she follows you out to the car. And you all make your way to school. Anybody else have anything they want to attend to, or you can even just tell me anything that you would want to have happened, or information you would want to have gathered.
I think a couple things would happen. One, I would have messaged Stephanie and met with Stephanie throughout the week, and would have just been like very excited about it, seeing like what's happening here, but also I want to keep it cash would be the event. We don't have to play through that, but that's like the state of affairs. And then the other thing that would happen this week would be Kale would want to get with Zoe to figure out what their talent show performance is.
Okay. Yeah, so we could easily say that like through a series of like what starts out as FaceTimes into like post-school hangouts that turn into like on Thursday afternoons like sits probe or whatever the fuck that somehow Julia got the drama club to take the night off because Thursdays are their usual meetings, somehow got them to leave, got access to the space. It's the stage is still set up for the start of the spring musical. There's like building wood everywhere. It smells slightly like burnt metal. Sawdust had to be like kind of pushed into the back by Becca, who is looking just kind of very in charge of it all. She's very much living up to her excitement in terms of being like the stage manager of this production. If you don't remember, Becca was the third of the trio, Jenna, Julia, and Becca. yeah, they've had to make some things work, but y'all get access to the space. And what does Zoe and Kale's final product of their thing turn out to be?
I think that we've like choreographed some weird abstract movement piece, but that I have been like, yeah, I'm gonna like we'll like try to do this like hypnosis thing at the end, and it'll like freak everyone out because they're gonna think it's real. And I have spent like a handful of hours on YouTube looking up videos of how to hypnotize someone. And I think with like the best of intentions on my part, to like not ask for any more help from stepdad Steve, but I think that I feel like as the week goes on, I'm like, hey, I think that I would essentially ask him for like this special power. Like, can I actually hypnotize Kale without Kale knowing during the final performance? And I'm, Angie, fine with you saying if the answer is no, the answer is no. That's cool. But essentially, this would be one of my strings attached bargains.
Okay.
So asking for something I want, there might be like a consequence to that. And I think that with Kale, I would continue to play it off as like, it's going to be such a funny little trick. Like, no, I don't really know how to do this. I've just been like looking up videos to see like how it looks, you know. Yeah.
That's exactly what Kale was thinking too. And you said that we had a chance to level up since the last game.
You were?
I'm asking Angie right now.
We like
Angie said that we moved it from 5 experience to 3 experience.
That's what it was. Thank you. I was like,
Kale
something with
3
experience.
So Kale can
So
move,
you can level up,
I'm
yeah.
just at 1.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
because of the nature of the shortness of this game, we'll do instead of 5, 3. So if you have 3 experience points, you can choose a level up.
So I wonder if like this ask to like have a like essentially like a power that isn't mine,
Yeah.
a power from a move from another skin,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
would be if I can find a way to level up on Friday, then like it'll work, and if not, I have to try to get Kale without it.
Yeah.
Because I only have 1 experience right now. So
Promise me 2 things.
Kale, ask me to promise you things.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, that is in line with what I wanted to do, and also what I was leveling up into. That is the Fey move called the Wild Hunt, where it fits perfectly with a movement piece. That is, it is me making echoing live movements of a cat with the veracity of a wolf, and I add my roll to turn people on. So
incredible,
amazing. Wait, so are you using your experience to take another Fey move?
Yes.
Cool. Love it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and say that throughout the week of practicing, and just how excited Julia has been about like Kale's ability to read auras, and like generally speaking, the entirety of like the kind of metaphysical talent she easily sees or hears about throughout the week you two doing your planning and scheming, and is like, oh, absolutely, you are all the grand finale. Like, this has to be like the final act for sure. Like, this is so cool. And I think people really should be getting more interested in this stuff. Like, who's to say that we're not the only people here, you know, or like that we're the only people here? I really, truly, and she like gets really close to your face, Kale, and she's like, I really do believe things exist on like different planes, and like, I believe in ghosts. I think I've never seen one, but like, doesn't mean they're not real.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, we feel energies around us all the time. Who's to say
All the
that-
time. I've been feeling so much energy lately.
Yeah.
Look, am I here? Am I there?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
What kind of energy?
Um,
What kind of concern?
and this is, I would say this happens like Tuesday or like Wednesday afternoon, like halfway through the week. Y'all are just like sitting in the auditorium, like having practiced or something. She's like, okay, you guys have to swear not to tell.
I mean, of course.
Sure,
So, like,
yeah.
ever since we saw you on Monday, like when you all came over to Franklin's and like things were weird and then it was like whatever, I have been having the best sex of my life. But you
Colin?
can't. Yeah. Yeah. And I know, right? I know, like, I didn't expect it, but like, Jesus Christ, you guys, like, and we're not like together, kind of, but I think we are. I don't like, we're like feeling it out. And like,
That's amazing.
It sounds
so
like
happy for
it's-
you. Plus, like, I don't know, sex is fun, but have you ever just like licked the Takis dust off somebody's fingers?
okay, where did that come from? Are you licking Taki dust off of somebody's fingers?
It's a hypothetical. I mean,
That was very specific. Like, you didn't say Cheetos dust. Cheetos is the generic go-to here. You said Takis.
That's the generic dust. Cheetos dust is the generic dust.
Yeah,
Off-brand dust.
the off-brand, the Kirkland,
The Kirkland brand
Yeah.
dust.
Kirkland dust. Whose fingers are Kale? Come on, I just like spilled my guts to you.
Okay, but you have to promise not to tell.
Cross my heart, hope to die. Duh.
Okay. Yeah, Stephanie and I went for a walk and I sucked some Cheeto dust off their fingers.
Ew, was that hot?
Yeah,
Stephanie?
it was weirdly really, really hot.
Wait, like the
Not
Taki dust
just
was
because
hot,
they were
or like
spicy Takis.
okay, but like actually like sexy.
Oh yeah.
And have you like been hanging out? Like, did you
Yeah,
talk?
Kale, have you followed up with Stephanie yet?
Yeah, I reached out to them. I think we're just gonna be casual. I've got a lot going on with this talent show right now, so
Oh, these casual relationships.
Well, the talent show is over on Friday, so you better get your shit together.
I know.
Casual only lasts so long, Kale.
You're one to talk.
Me?
You said it's not really clearly defined.
Yeah, I just got out of a relationship with someone who is like very clearly unstable, by the way. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it.
He
No, I
does
mean,
seem
like,
to be going through some stuff.
yeah.
And I don't want to be an asshole because, like, if his dad died, I don't know. Like, I tried to text his sister, but she's being kind of like vague. And so I can't really tell. And she kind of seems like she's going through it a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's just-
it's if the I don't know what all happened between y'all, and I don't want to like I believe you, and I feel like he's going through a lot, and especially like if their dad died. I'm not saying your feelings are valid, but like, yeah, I would expect him to be a little weird right now.
Colin, if after school, Julia is in this auditorium. Where are you standing? Are you thinking about it? I thought I just broke Matt.
No,
Well, it's like I heard Colin, so I know you're not talking to me, but nobody's saying anything. So maybe.
Well, then I was like, we've all forgotten our names in
Yeah.
whatever session we're in before.
I am not there.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Your
Good to know.
eyes are not on Julia.
Yeah.
So Kale and Zoe, you see like Julia get like she goes somewhere. You know, you can like tell when people kind of zone out. And as you're talking about like I believe you, but he's going through something. You see her kind of start to zone out. And she kind of, after you finish talking, just sits there for a little bit. And it kind of goes non-responsive.
Julia, are you all right? We can stop talking about our personal lives and just go back to planning the show if you want.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that y'all just broke up, and I
like look at Kale. I'm like I don't know Julia that well. Like, what do we do? Julia?
And she looks at you, Zoe, and says, "See, do you think a YouTube video could really show you how to hypnotize someone?"
I don't know if hypnosis is even really like a real thing. So, I mean, I think maybe
I want to learn.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, kind of, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just for the fun of it, for the talent show. I'm not sure if it's gonna like work.
Okay.
I can send you the videos I've been watching.
Yeah, will you do that?
Yeah. Who are you trying to hypnotize? Like part of the show, or so we kind of already have that act covered?
No. I just like am curious as to if it's real, like if it's part of the metaphysical and
I think it's totally real. I think it's I mean, like it's really cool that you want to learn about it too. If we all want to practice together, that's cool with me.
Listen, I gotta go. I'll be back here tomorrow after school for the run through. But y'all stay in here as long as you want. I'll see you tomorrow. And she like picks up her bag and puts her books in it, leaves the auditorium.
I mean, I feel like I said something wrong, right?
I don't know. I think that Jake has her kind of like fucked up. You know Jake better than I do, but there's something off there, and I don't know. I don't know that I want to get involved, but it seems like there might be something affecting Julia that we don't know about. I'm kind of like, I like definitely know that something is off with Jake, and I'm not interested in again, like getting on Jake's bad side by like saying too much. But also like I want Kale to trust me, so I'm like do you think there's something we could do for Julia? Like, I'll definitely send her the stuff if she's curious about hypnosis. You're being like very trusting if you think hypnosis is real and you're gonna let me do it to you. I think it's just gonna be like funny.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be funny too. And I don't know, like what isn't real, But also I was kind of saying that to try and help Julia feel better, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm still really excited about this.
I think it would be great. Do you want to practice our choreography again?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do it on the stage?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool, let's go. And scene.
And
5, 6,
oh,
7,
you're not
8.
you're okay, cool. Amazing.
The one thing,
Yeah.
can I know, like, if I'm doing the like strings attached thing, if I'm able to, like, if I gain experience enough to gain the ability to hypnotize, what would be the attached strings?
Yeah, so I would say this is tough.
Yeah, you can also, like, maybe I don't need to know right now since I don't really have the ability yet. But
oh, I see. You don't have that bargain yet.
right.
Okay, so you
Oh
have
no, sorry. I have the bargain, the strings attached bargain, but I don't have the experience to like take a move from another skin to like ask for the thing that I want.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Okay. So here,
That's kind of how I'm thinking about it.
What
Yeah.
is your current bargain? Is the strings attached?
Strings
but
attached.
then okay. Here's what I'll say. In a conversation with stepdad Steve that we don't have to role play unless you want to. Because I will. I would say that he would tell you that you can essentially mechanically, however narratively it happens, but mechanically you can get enough experience to take a move from the skin that you want. So take the hypnosis from the vampire. But you will what is your current stat block for your rolls? Do you have
all
the
of
hot
them?
negative one or the hot
Yes.
one? You have the
Hot
hot
negative
negative
one.
one?
Yep.
Okay, so what I will say is that you can gain the experience. So basically take away all the experience points you have, if you have any. Just give yourself that hypnosis move, but you have to switch stat blocks from the one you have to the other one on your skin page. And then you also lose any strings you have on anyone.
Okay.
So as like a trade.
Cool. So that would be, I'm trading that to gain the experience, or I'm trading that to, if I have enough experience, gain the move.
You're getting the move. You don't
Okay.
have to get the experience, but you
I
start.
don't have to get the experience.
So do you have any experience right now?
Just one.
So get rid of that one experience. So you have no experience now, but you have the move.
Okay.
And then you're also getting rid of all your strings and switching your stat block.
Okay, cool. I'll think about that. Sweet.
Okay, so that's the So
that's the trade-off.
Get back to me before whenever you want.
Yes.
Tell me if you trade that.
Cool.
Wow. Oh, that was fun. Woo! I gotta take a drink of water. Okay. So we have those two situations that have been happening. Ideally, through this week, you have been practicing, getting ready for the talent show. Jake, is there anything that you need to have happen between now and Friday?
Yeah, there's a number of things that I want to do, but none of them are super involved.
Okay.
So one, I want to basically be texting Jenna throughout the week and say that just be pretty vague, but just tell her that my plan is that we just need to get Julia alone. And that's that's all I tell her. On Friday, that is.
On Friday, yeah.
So that's one thing I wanted to do. And then I would maybe hang out with Jenna after school, but don't really pay attention to her much during school.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to make her not like upset, but
Yeah, to continue to keep her on the line.
Yeah,
but,
I'm such an ass.
Yeah.
Um,
And you have the ability to like anytime you're together to like hypnotize her, and that creates the illusion that nothing's wrong because
Yeah.
you don't have a cap and there's not like a time.
mm-mm.
So
No.
so we can say honestly that you have had her hypnotized this entire.
Yeah, it says yeah, they do what you wish and have no idea that anything was wrong. So I would say since she hasn't helped me do what I wish yet, she's still in that state with me.
I will say then, Zach, just because I really am excited and want to be really generous with this session,
Okay.
because of you stretching yourself with your abilities and like consistently hypnotizing someone, really playing like the long game with this, go ahead and give yourself an experience point.
Hey, all right, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Jake is learning from he's calculating, like you said at the top.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks that the best thing for him to do until the talent show is like kind of low,
Cool.
and so he doesn't really. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So he doesn't really cause any scenes or anything like that. I think that he was really hoping that Kale and Zoe would like reach out to him after Monday happened. Like he was hoping he won their side, and when that doesn't happen, I think that he kind of plays into that and just like kind of acts a little aloof and a little upset throughout the day at school.
Yeah.
Is nothing but nice to anyone, and just kind of becomes quiet throughout the day.
Yeah.
So that's as far as his like behavior at school, that's what's going on. He's just being really just acting as innocent basically as possible and acting like, he's really going through something.
And I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say I spend most of the days watching Jake from afar, like trying to like tail him, just want to see what he's up to. That's why why I wasn't there. But I'm frustrated at how little Jake is doing, I think.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I would say too, all of you at this point would see or have seen a moment where like Jenna is talking to someone, and if you get close enough, you can hear that it's about Jake, and she says, like, in passing, you hear her just say, "Oh, and yeah, he really was right. That wasn't the right way to handle it, and I'm a little embarrassed about my behavior, and like we've talked and we both, really agree that like I want to be a better person, and like I just get into these moods sometimes where I just want to like be." And she goes on and on about like, and to anyone who will listen, just about like how much Jake has like helped her grow as a person.
Amazing.
And like it really is helping you. And then especially Zach, paired with the amount of pullback that you've been doing, no one's really questioning it. Everyone's seeing that you're kind of, licking your wounds. The public image is that you're hurting and you need to be cared for, and you're doing your very best to maintain like a cool, calm demeanor. So yeah,
Perfect.
That's really, really working for you.
Amazing. One other thing that I do that we don't have to role play is I call in my favor from Spicoli, and I get some drugs off of him.
Yeah, he absolutely is psyched out of his fucking mind. And then he comes up to you and he's like, hey, after he like hands you like very, very like poorly not discreet at all, to the point where you're like, fuck, this is gonna get fucked up. And he looks at you and he goes, hey, did you hear they asked me to MC the talent show?
Fantastic, Spicoli.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
you're really gonna nail it. I think that you're gonna do a great job.
So if you want the good stuff, I'm bringing it that day. Like, if you want more. For yourself, even. It doesn't even have to be to, like, have. Just, like, if
Spicoli,
you want
I
to...
need it a little bit sooner than that day. Okay? Maybe even earlier that day. You know, I'm not trying to rush you too much. I just need you to deliver. Okay? Remember, you do kind of owe me one, and I'll still pay you. So just, I need it earlier than that night.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like an hour or so. I need it earlier.
For sure. Yeah, I'll give it to you that morning. For sure.
Fantastic. Good.
Yeah.
You're a great guy.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Oh, man, Jake, thanks. That's fucking sick, man. That's fucking sick.
Spicoli, I can't wait to watch you kick ass on Friday.
Oh, my God. Thanks, man. And he, like, gives you a high five. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he, like, sweating.
Yeah,
up.
exactly. So I get that from him Friday morning.
Friday morning, yeah.
And I have a plan for that basically right before the talent show.
Cool.
And then last thing I practiced my talent throughout the week.
Yeah,
I
which
practiced
is
my song.
cool. Your solo.
Yeah, which will be revealed on stage.
I can't wait.
And the last thing I do other than that is I obviously have kept my family informed of my plan. And at one point, they've been pretty upset with me, I would assume. And you know,
Yeah.
we weren't prepared for father to have to, quote unquote, to have to exit public so soon.
Yeah.
So that's a very annoying thing. And he has been punished for that.
Yeah.
And on one of these nights, after he has received his punishment, he finds his the only sibling who treats him with a modicum of dignity, his sister.
Yeah, you meet Veronica at I've made this all up in my head for you, Jake, so get ready.
Please, go.
You meet Veronica one night, maybe at, like, later in the week after kind of everything's been really weighing on you. Your quiet nature isn't just an act in some ways. You are really kind of reflective. And you and Veronica meet at kind of what has been your place of peace, the place that you kind of feel away from it all, can really feel yourself and your thoughts away from, like, the thirst of pain that you want to inflict on others. You find yourself at a beautiful, kind of isolated lighthouse. Because you are in Michigan. You do have access to beautiful coastal Lake Michigan. Right now it's winter. The sun is going down. You found yourself seated at the edge of the water. It's very cold, but you don't need a jacket. You don't need anything to kind of help you with that. And you're sitting there taking in the events of the week, really hung up on the disappointment that you've caused your family, and you hear the slight crunching of snow behind you as someone walks up to you, and you turn around and you see your one sibling, Veronica. Beautiful, immortal Veronica. Seemingly ageless, bright green eyes, dark black hair, pale skin. And she sits down next to you and kind of, like, nudges you a little bit. leans her head on your shoulder and says, "You are being really hard on yourself, baby brother."
I hate it when you call me that.
You're just the little baby of the family.
Very funny, Veronica. Very funny. I find it hard to believe that I'm being hard on myself when I am reminded by our loving, caring parents that I am the scum beneath their fingernails. You know what they do in that room.
I do. And it's happened to all of us. We've all been in your position at one time or another. We're centuries old, baby brother. And if you think that you're getting any special treatment from father, just remember, you're centuries old, Jake. You don't have parents. You have an illusion. And I, for one, would like to see you just really grow into yourself.
Maybe let loose a little.
Why else am I here? Why else did you come to me specifically?
Veronica, I might need your help Friday night.
You know I'm going to give it to you.
Good. I have the potential of not only having one guest for dinner, but two. Two lovely, young, wonderful guests. I already have one locked. I've been pulling her strings all week.
Okay.
The next won't be hard to join. And who knows, there's the potential that my second target, she may even activate her damsel in distress. And the brave hero might just come running. And maybe we can pull up an extra chair. I have to make this up to them. I know that they're not my parents, but they are much older than us, and you know what that means for us. I can't fight them if I tried. So I would like to make a statement. And also, I'm hungry.
I like this side of you.
I do too. I've been having a lot of fun this week doing what you've taught me, Veronica.
Excellent. Excellent.
Just be near the high school auditorium Friday night. Be looking out for your number. Oh, also, is Julia still texting you?
She is.
And
And
you're pulling her along, I'm assuming?
Yes. You could say that.
I appreciate that. But I just ask that you don't play with your toys too much. We still need them to follow the rules.
And she kind of stands up, pats you on the shoulder, brushes the snow off of her pants, and starts to walk away. And she turns back to you. You hear the crunching of the snow stop, and she says, "Jake, I just want one thing very clear. Everything's more fun if you do it for yourself."
I'll take note, big sister.
She smiles and she walks away. And you hear the lapping of the waves continue
Yeah.
and just take over you as you let the night and the sundown engulf you.
I would say that, I mean, he's centuries old. This is not the only time he's done that. He sits on that bench throughout the entire night.
Yeah.
Watching the moon crawl across the sky. And when it is time for school the next day, he feels a renewed vigor in himself. And yeah, that's pretty much all he does. And then there's one thing I want to do right towards the like 30 minutes before the talent show starts.
Cool. Yeah. So with that,
Or actually, sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
Like within the hour after school before the talent show.
within the hour after school. Okay.
Mhm.
So there is something that you want to do like during the school day on Friday.
Right at the end of it, yeah.
Cool.
Or are we skipping past that? So do we do it now?
Well, so if yeah, we don't have to. We can do it starting. I was deciding whether or not we wanted to start. I said morning, but then we can go to the end of the school day.
It's
and
up to
then
you. Sorry, I
to-
just didn't know what you said. I forgot.
It's okay. It's loosey goosey.
Yeah. So yeah, there's something I want to do within the hour after school, but that's whenever that happens. That's all I want to do.
What were you saying, Jen?
There's one thing that I want to do before the talent show as well.
Okay. So let's just skip to. Is everybody cool with skipping to like just the end of the school day?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
wanted to say one more thing that I think I would have done some exhaustive research about the Donovan family.
Yeah,
Try to find
that's right.
anything about a dead father or an
Okay.
ailing father,
Yeah.
and I assume found nothing.
Well, I mean, it's been like throughout the. I guess I forgot to kind of like think about that. If it's been throughout the week and they are like a centuries old vampire family and are used to pulling personas from the public, they probably with like. Because he was lying when he said we were waiting to make it public. He just hadn't like he was like that was just an excuse. So I think probably as early as even the next day that they would have made like a public statement. Yeah.
There's like a small obituary in the
Or else people would just like file a missing persons report on the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, have you come to any conclusion about the deal? Or do you need more time?
My only question about that is, does Kale have any strings on me? So I think I can only hypnotize people if they don't have strings on me.
Is the kicker of that move.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do have one.
You
have one.
You did. You have one. Is that what you said?
All right. Well, then I'm gonna stick with what I got.
Try to get rid of it before Friday.
As
I'm kind of curious about having to operate without it. So
we will say that stepdad Steve gave you a day to think about it. And when you came to him and said, "No, I want to do this on my own," the scariest, unnerving grin that came over his face as he looked down at you and said, "You are making me proud."
I'm trying my best.
I'm proud of you. And he turns around and leaves it at that.
Great.
Daddy?
Dada. And I think as far as seeing the obituary, it's like,
and not only an obituary, there's like comments under it too. So like people are like, "Oh, sorry for your loss, praying for your family."
Yeah, but I do still
we're
think
so
that
sorry.
you thought he was bullshitting on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think I'm not suspicious still. Like.
Yeah. Not suspicious.
The fact that the information didn't come out until after you talked about it.
Yeah, it's super.
Yeah.
I'm
weird.
like, if you're powerful enough, like, I understand what you're capable of doing.
It's a rush job, you guys.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and just for the sake of brevity,
Lols?
we are going to skip to the final bell of Friday. You've been practicing your talents The lights look immaculate. Becca is really good, you guys. And Julia has told everybody Becca is probably going to go to college for lighting design. And
Amazing.
for that, we are so proud because that's where the money is. And so things are looking really good. Julia managed to get Mrs. Applebaum to help her move at least all of the shrapnel off the stage, pull the giant velour curtains, drop a beautiful like landscape, like what is it called? I used to do theater. I don't know. Backdrop. Thank
Backdrop.
you. Scrim. Nobody helped me, but I helped myself after that. A scrim. Of like just like a beautiful picturesque landscape, so at least there's some sort of like covering for the madness behind. But no one, Mrs. Applebaum says, no one is allowed back there. It's dangerous. It's not up to standard. No one go back there. And she looks directly at Julia. I know you have a little boyfriend now, so just don't go back there.
Now. Jake's just chopped liver.
Well, you know, a week is a long time in
Yeah,
high school.
no. Hey,
so.
listen, he's playing into all of this.
And so you have access directly after school to the stage until the time for the talent show. So what are y'all up to? I know some of you had some stuff you wanted to do it.
Yeah, mine's relatively quick.
Yeah.
I wait until the students have left the school or are in the auditorium, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and find an older female teacher that knows me and kind of is, you know,
Yeah.
she just adores me, you know.
Yeah. I would say, you know, that the sophomore chemistry teacher that you had sophomore year, Mrs. Jansen,
Mrs. Jansen.
Miss Jansen, technically,
Miss
she
Jansen.
was Mrs. Avram, but now is Miss Jansen.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's cleaning up. It was a pretty heavy lab day today, so she's getting everything back into away from disarray.
Miss Jansen?
Oh, Jake, hi.
Hey, hi. Oh my god,
Hi.
First of all, it's good to see you. Is it super weird if I give you a hug? Is that weird? I haven't seen
No,
her now.
no,
Is that
come
weird?
on,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
come
yeah.
here. Yeah,
It's good
she
to
like
see you.
side hugs you safely.
Yeah, exactly. So something kind of happened, and I don't really want to get this person in too much trouble, but I also feel like I have to tell somebody, and so I didn't know who else to go to, and I really trust you, Miss Jansen, and
Oh,
I'm just hoping maybe you can help me in this situation.
wow. I didn't realize I had that profound of an effect on you, Jake. That's really
Are you
nice.
kidding me? I feel like I mean, don't tell my other teachers this, but I feel like I haven't learned anything since sophomore year.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. What's going on? What's
Kind of
got
looks
y'all worked
around.
up?
He takes the cocaine out of his pocket.
She like immediately just like walks over, shuts the door, and like stands in front of it, like away from you, giving you space. Jake.
I saw Colin trying to give this to one of the juniors. And I walked in on the bathroom when they were doing it, and they kind of got spooked and ran away, and I just don't think that he thought about it, and I thought about just throwing it away, but like honestly, if he's doing that, that's so dangerous. But I also know that I know that Colin's a really good guy, and I know that he is new here, and it's gotta be hard, and I know that I'm going through a lot, and there's been a lot of pardon my French, fucked up things that I've wanted to do too, and I just kind of saw a similarity there, and I don't know. I thought maybe you would know what to do.
Well, so just confirm to me, Jake, you saw this happen.
Yeah, and well, Miss Jansen, this is why I admire you so much, because you saw it too, and I'm going to try to hypnotize her.
It's if she doesn't have a strain on you.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely, yeah. So go ahead and roll for hypno.
I'm gonna roll for hot. This is a 1 and a 5 on the die. That's 6. I'm going to use my string on her because I'm beautiful to make that a 7.
Okay. So you dun 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 dun. Sorry, let's get there.
It says on a 7 to 9 the hypnosis works, but I choose one of the 3 actions.
So what do you?
Come on,
You
let's
get
keep it fair, all right, Angie?
absolutely.
Her sanity is unhinged.
Yeah. Okay. So you say the magic words, and you saw it too, and she looks at you, kind of follows the gaze, takes a look down to the cocaine, back up to you, and immediately just like sinks down against the door. And she puts her head in her hands, and she looks at Jake with like the widest eyes, and she goes, Jake, I could lose my teaching license for this. Please just don't tell anyone that I did not report this. Can I just, we need to dump this, right? No, Jake, no.
It's why I admire you so much that you didn't report it.
No, I'm terrible.
No, it's
No,
I'm
not terrible.
You're not. It's the right thing to do because now you can have
What's the right thing to do? We're gonna do the cocaine?
He's like, he knows what has happened and he's very frustrated. No, that's not.
No, we should do the cocaine.
No, Ms.
If we
Jansen,
do
that's
it,
not what we're gonna do.
they can't trace it back to us.
No, you're going
If
to
we
tell
flush
us...
it, they could see us. If we leave this room, we need to get rid of it in this room right now, Jake. And she like grabs your collar. Jake,
Ms. Jansen,
do this cocaine with me.
No, I'm not going to do the cocaine with you. You are
Jake,
going to...
please.
Jansen.
Please, Jake.
You are going to go to his mother. That's what you said, right?
She like twists her neck a little bit and like blinks, and she's like, his mom needs to know about this.
Immediately, and if she doesn't know, then you're a bad teacher.
If she doesn't know, then I'm a bad teacher. If I don't know I'm a bad teacher, she won't know I'm a bad teacher. And
What?
Ooh, it's hot in here, Jake.
It's
Ooh, okay.
exactly room temperature.
Oh, okay. So shh.
Oh, I hate this.
Okay. I'll go tell his mom that he tried to give you cocaine.
Just here, and he
she,
hands
like...
her the cocaine. He's like, "Do whatever the fuck you're gonna do," and he walks out of the room.
She like puts it in her blazer pocket and like opens the door, and she goes, "Get out!
I'm out. Goodbye.
Get out! Slam!"
And I growl frustratingly and make my way to the auditorium. I think that he just chills in the auditorium until it's time for the show, probably sitting in the back of the auditorium reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Looking forlorn.
Awesome. At the end of the day, Kale, you're at your locker, and you, before you even see her, you like feel her presence, and you turn around and you see Stephanie leaning against the locker to the side, and she says,
I'm so sorry
Hey.
to interrupt. I am so sorry, but there is one more thing very quickly. I just wanted to text Jenna and tell her on the day, be like, the way we get her alone is you need to tell her you want to apologize to her. And I just wanted to send her
Cool.
the text. And then
Good.
that's it. Sorry.
Thank
I
you.
apologize.
No, that's cool. Yeah. And just so you know, I know things keep coming up. I know we're building this story together. So like after everybody goes, if there's something that pops up during that, I'll do one last reach out just for everybody. Just so you know, you'll have that opportunity. Cause this shit is good. So Jenna needs to get her alone. Needs to apologize. Okay. Just gotta write down all my storylines. Cool. So yeah, Stephanie's at your locker, Kale, and she was like, "Hey,
Hey,
are you excited for tonight?"
I'm so excited for tonight.
I'm really excited to see what you and Zoe have come up with. It
It's
sounds
so-
really weird. It sounds really cool.
I'm sorry I couldn't like show you, but it's
No, I'm glad. I'm living for the surprise.
it lives on stage.
And
I-
the playlist that you cultivated for me in order to like
Right?
get this right, like so
Right?
good. I've been listening to it every night.
That makes me so happy. I'm so glad that you like it.
Yeah. So are you nervous? Are you
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you have to go to the auditorium now, or like what's your call time? Like what?
I do have to go because I was gonna try and do some makeup before. So
Oh. Kill, I think that's so cool.
yeah, thanks. If you're lucky, you might get some lipstick smooches on your face later.
And she like just immediately like kind of like leans back on the locker and just like feigns like a dramatic swoon of like, oh my god. And she kind of looks at you and she's like, okay, well, do you want me to get you a tea, or do you want me to bring you anything? Since you can't really get away, I could like grab you some dinner and like bring it to you, or
What if you just go get like some Takis in Arizona and bring it?
yeah. Just the original.
Yeah, our flavor.
Hale, shut up. Okay, I'll be back. I added a few songs during study hall, so take a listen.
Oh my god, I can't wait to hear them. I'm
Yeah.
gonna listen to them while I-
Yeah. I'm kind of obsessed. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Maggie Rogers?
No. Oh my god.
Listen.
You found something that I don't know.
Yeah, I figured kind of I went a little bit mainstream with it since you kind of like the funkier stuff. But I think she's really good. Like, I think she's probably one of the best.
Babe, yes. Okay, I gotta go. And I kiss Stephanie on the cheek and I scoot off.
Yeah, she like if you were to look back, she stands there and watches until you are out of sight, and just is like reeling from the fact that you called her babe. Okay, yeah. So you saunter on off to the dressing room in the auditorium. Zoe, where would you find yourself?
As soon as I see Kale walk off, I would walk up to Stephanie.
Okay, yeah. So she's just standing there, ripe for the
I'm gonna be
conversation.
like, so you and Kale, huh?
Oh my god, do you think they like me too? They call me
I
babe, and
mean-
like they talk about kissing me all the time, and like they say they want to be casual, but like I don't really know what that means, but like this feels really good, and I just think that I like love them. I know, isn't that so crazy?
Oh my god, Stephanie.
I never felt like this before. I usually don't
like-
really like. And
You
I'm
don't
not
usually
gonna
what?
say I don't usually like feel this way. Like I mean, I'm a senior in high school, and I've never had a boyfriend or a them friend. What would you a
Just say
significant
partner,
other.
probably.
Oh my gosh, partner sounds like we're getting married. That would be so cool though. Do you think we'd be cute together?
Oh, I think you'd be adorable. I'm just saying,
Wow.
I spent a lot of time with Kale recently since we've been prepping for
Yeah.
the talent show, and they talk about you a lot.
They do.
They do.
My God, they're so
I've heard
cute.
all about your talkies incident.
And you see like she's like beaming and like her face immediately like, what did you hear? What was it?
No. It just sounds like it was like super hot.
Okay. Okay, can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is gonna okay. No, I can't say it. I can't.
Come on, Stephanie. Your secret's safe with me.
Okay. This is so embarrassing. And she like kind of like pulls you like very, very firmly to like the side of a locker and she goes, I have had some very interesting experiences since that moment.
Oh yeah? With Kale?
No, mostly alone.
Oh.
And
okay.
and she like you can see her like sinking into her hoodie, like pulling it like near her, like kind of fiddling with it nervously, and she's like, yeah, I thought that was like something that like guys did. But like I went on the internet and like women can do it too. And it feels
The talkie just
so like after the talkies happened, I was like, why can't I stop thinking about this? And why is there parts of me that are like burning? And I was like, it's not a UTI. I like know that I've had one of those before, but like, what? And so I was like, what is this feeling? Like I went on in Google and I was like, what does this feeling mean? And it's arousal. It's arousal.
Oh, you're feeling horny.
Yes. I mean, and she like looks around like, yes.
Does it and I'm just, there's no one right way to feel, but when you say burning, that feels a little
No, it's not like
concerning,
it's not.
Stephanie.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like a burning. Like I know what that feels like. Like, but it was just like it's like a sensation.
Yeah.
It's like an awareness.
Yeah.
And I'd never really had that.
Oh, you're really into them. That's exciting.
I think I am. Oh my gosh.
Do you think that
Wow.
Kel feels the same like amount? Do you think Kel would say that they love you?
And you see like her face kind of go a little solemn for a second, and then she like comes back and she's like, maybe I should tell them. Maybe I should talk to them. Because maybe they do.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Kale can be like a little shy sometimes. Maybe they're just afraid to admit it. But I think maybe you can come up with a way to tell them that's not just with your words. Some gesture to show them how much you care.
They love gestures.
Yeah, and it's been such a joy to work with Kale on our piece that we're gonna have for the finale of the talent show. They are so talented. They're good at so many different things. And I don't know if you've heard me talk about my stepdad before, but he has some influence at a bunch of different arts colleges, and I just feel like you should help me get Hale to meet my stepdad so that everyone else can see how talented they are too.
Yes, Absolutely, yes. No, they deserve that so much.
Right? And I think
Yeah.
that it feels like it would be right up their alley to like
Yeah.
continue to do their like performance art and
Yes.
all
Oh, I could
that.
see them just like they're really, really like curated, decorated dorm room at like some really cool arts college. That's so Kale.
So Kale.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down.
Great. Okay, so my stepdad is gonna like be at the talent show. I couldn't get him to stay home. He really wanted to see us all perform.
That's really nice.
And maybe afterward, you can convince Kale to say hi, and it can be I think it would be a beautiful gesture of how much you believe in them and how great you think they are, and
Oh my god.
maybe even like the future you see.
Stop, Zoe! Oh my god! Yes. Okay. Yes. Is it okay if I like text them right now and tell them that like I have a surprise for them after? Or like
think that's
really, I
great.
think
There'll
they
be
like the anticipation. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. This is awesome. Okay. I have to go. I promised I would get them a Takis and as iced tea, but shut up. So, but yes, I'll text them on my way, and we're gonna set this whole thing up. This is amazing. You're such a good friend.
Great. Oh, I just think Kale's the best, and I'm excited for you too.
They are the best.
Great. Okay, go get your snacks.
Okay. Yes.
I'll see you after the show.
And she like scurries away, like bursts through the exit doors, like just like a freaking movie. She's like creating for herself, like just this little like aura that is probably whatever color Kale would see.
And Zoe turns around to go to the auditorium and goes,
it's like the classic image of like we see Zoe or we see Stephanie go off from behind Zoe's shoulder, and then she just turns around in the camera and just goes bleh.
yeah.
Lovely shots. In that time, Kale, you do get a text from Stephanie that says, hi, may or may not be organizing a little surprise for you for after the show. Break legs, kissy face, and then has a picture of your Takis and your Arizona iced tea outside of the door of the dressing room, as not wanting to disturb your process.
It would like heart react and like sparkle heart just for now.
Cool.
I'm busy.
I got makeup on my hands. Colin, where do you find yourself directly after school?
I am with Julia.
Yeah, you probably in the auditorium.
Yes.
Yeah, she would have made herself available to everybody.
Yeah, I'm just, helping her kind of set it up, but also kind of very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of whisper to Julia, did you get anything back from Jake's sister at all about nothing?
I mean, I think that it's true. I think that I think their dad died, because she's usually a lot more like, I don't know, like I said, I just met her that one time, but she was a little bit more like charming and talkative and just very put together, and she's being really like one word answers and like sad face emojis, or like the little like the one with the eye and the tear, like. Oh really? So I think
eyes and tears,
and I don't want to like push it and be insensitive.
Yeah,
but it's Friday, we're not getting anything. And did you see that obituary?
No.
Like, I mean, anyone can write an obituary and like post it, but I think I'll have to fact check that, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
I-
open to the public.
yeah, but like there were comments on it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Dang.
It's seeming like it's real, and now I feel like a real fucking asshole.
Damn. Okay. Well, that doesn't change the fact that probably Jake threatened me and threatened us. So I just want you to be careful, and I don't think that Jake would ever do something like that, but I want to be around just in case. I think we should stick together.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we're in this together.
yeah, we're in this together. You look so good today.
Shut up. You look so good today.
Oh, yeah, you know.
And she like tousles like your hair that's already tousled, and she's like, I love this like look on you.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like I don't
You
really
look like
care, but I
punk.
do care.
Yeah, you look like a hot punk band guy.
You know, it's the crazy thing is that before I met you, all I listened to was punk, but now it's just like I don't know. I had top 40s on repeat pop music. It's just like I just like the idea of like I don't know.
Colin.
Yeah, I guess when you're happy, that angst, I don't need that punk angst.
You're happy?
I'm the happiest I think other than the death threat, I'm the happiest I've been in a long time.
I mean, aside from the drama, like,
Yeah. So
and she like kind of pulls you in and like kisses you and says, "Oh, go ahead."
So, you ready for our performance tonight?
I am 100% ready, and I'm not gonna lie, I am gonna have to work very hard to stay focused.
My mind is already drifting away from the performance.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just kiss one more time.
Maybe like
Before.
3 more times.
Three
Just
more-
like, okay, just like maybe 7 more times, and then
Yeah.
call it a day. Save it for the stage,
So, I still think we should try to humiliate Jake. Obviously, Plan A, the father thing, is maybe off the table.
Yeah.
But maybe we can still. I really think that if we post
Wait.
that text message.
Okay,
I don't know.
listen. Hang on.
Yeah.
And she dramatically for like flavor like puts her finger up to your lips and it's like, hang on. Like
Okay.
just very dramatically.
Mhm.
And she goes, I just thought about this. What if the best way to embarrass Jake is to publicly announce that we're together?
Perfect.
What if at the end of our number we just kiss?
I have thought of nothing other than that moment for 4 days now, and I think Jake is gonna get so mad, and
I think that's like the best we could do, right? And like we're not hurting him, we're just together. And it just happened.
He gets mad and he, does something rash. Maybe he can humiliate himself.
Exactly. And then our hands are clean. We don't have any reason. We don't have the like, we haven't trapped him in a lie. We haven't really gotten any evidence. So like, what better way to just be happy?
Yeah.
And let him self-combust.
And then from that day on, we'll be smooth sailing.
Colin, you're the best.
You're the best.
All right. 7.
All right.
Here we go. And she
Right.
like plants just one big one on you. And y'all just go to town wherever you're at in the auditorium. Don't care that anybody's walking by. And yeah.
Yeah, I just sit there and goggle at her and help her
Yeah.
out in whatever ways I can.
And she does like she is a really good facilitator. She is an excellent listener. She's helping everybody. People that have props, people that have like plug-in needs. She and Becca are working just like seamlessly. Like you are seeing her in her element, and like that is really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the way you give orders to these people.
Just wait, sir. And she like winks.
A shiver goes down my spine.
I will open it up now just to the rest of everybody. If anybody has anything that they want to do in the very few, we're going to say the time between after school and the 30 minutes before the curtain. I'm going to say curtain is at 7, classic talent show start time on a Friday. So it's about 6:30 now. Anybody feel?
I'm gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask Jenna to ask Julia that for some privacy to apologize at the end of it.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm as Jenna anticipating that timing.
That's the only thing that I'm doing before the talent show.
Do you want when you say end of the talent show? Do you mean like as the talent show is?
Who's the last?
End?
Who's the last act? Is it one of us or is it? Okay,
so
perfect.
It's Zoe and Kale, but then that is going to be. I was going to have everybody do what they needed to do, and then we decide. But we can decide now what level the acts are, or like what order the acts are.
Really don't care.
Cool.
But it would be nice if the last act was not Julia and Colin, because
no, it's gonna be
okay,
Zoe
cool.
and
So
Kale.
so I'll just go. Who? I don't know. What do you think, Matt? Who should go first?
You should go first. I'll go. Julia and I will go second,
Okay.
and then Kale and Zoe.
It would. I very selfishly want it to be the other way around, but I think it fits story wise better for me to go first. So yeah, I think just after that, during Zoe and Kale's act, is when he would ask Jenna to get Julia.
During Kale and Zoe's act.
Yes.
Cool.
And then I would. Well, we can get to that. If that happens, I will do something.
I have one more thing I want to do before the talent show starts.
Yeah.
And can I ask a out of game question again? If
Absolutely.
Kale has any strings on Jake?
Kale has
one.
Kale has more than one. Kale has 4 strings on Jake.
I used 3 of them.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to update him. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So 1.
Okay. Thank you. That influences what I want to do here. So I want to go up to Jake before the talent show, whenever I can find him alone.
And he's in the back reading his book, very forlorn.
Oh, very forlorn. Poor Jake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey Jake.
Oh, hey Zoe. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I have a business transaction for you. And I'm wondering, before I propose it, how much you care about Kale.
You see, like, he very much respects this, and you see his persona kind of go away. Kale is a wonderful person. But isn't everyone?
Expendable.
He kind of looks around. I think it's hard to find someone who isn't.
Fair enough. I think that you and I both know that I have my suspicions about your father. I think if I have not misjudged you, that you have suspicions about my family.
You'd be correct.
I would like to know if I can have a kind of alliance with you in exchange for not digging any further into the death of your father, or telling anyone else what I suspect. If you can help me arrange a meeting between Kale and my father, who I don't believe you've had the pleasure of meeting. My stepfather, by the way. Just after the talent show, I don't pretend to know a lot of the details of your relationship with Kale, so whatever form that might take, I would be happy for your assistance. And I won't mention it again.
I admire your brass, Zoe. And I must say, I respect it as well. I would be happy to help you. I feel like you have, Kale would be a good egg. I may never have met your stepfather, but I have a feeling me and my family have met similar. So, I will do this
Surprised.
in exchange for your silence. But what you will do in exchange for mine is make sure that Julia is very open to honest communication and apologies from Jenna.
When?
During your act. Just make sure, put it in her ear, that being the better person, forgiveness, rising above, that's what good people do.
I can have a conversation. As you know, during my act, I will be hypnotizing Kale. Do with that information what you will. And I believe that we can both help each other at the exact same time.
I think that this is a wonderful transaction. And must I say, pleasure doing business with you. And he just goes right back to reading his book.
So he nods and walks off.
And
This is fucked up.
and as you finish this conversation and start to go back to reading your book, Julia, in full, just like the show is here mode, is like, okay, we need to clear the house, everyone. The audience is about to be in the space. Let's go. Let's get backstage. Does anybody have anything they wanted to do before the audience starts to arrive?
Zoe, could you, perchance, I know it didn't happen in the moment, but would you have let Jake know that, about the surprise thing at all? Because you asked what time, and then he didn't ask that. He just knew it was after the show. And so would you have let him know about the surprise thing at all? Because he's going to play into that if so, and if not, he'll come up with something else.
Yeah, I think I would have told him. Yeah, I think I would have told him that Stephanie is also helping arrange it. I'm just kind of trying to arrange all my.
I think with that being
all
said,
the forces
then,
I can.
Yeah, perfect. With that being said, then I think I would just also text Kale, and I would say, "Wow, you're a lucky one. Can't wait to see your reaction after the show."
Oh my god!
I would run into. Oh well, I guess I might do this mid-show. I would run into Julia while she's in the throes of it all, and be like, "You have done such an amazing job putting this on. It's so clear that you and Becca and Jenna care so much about each other, and your friendship has accomplished amazing things. Look at what you've done. This is so great."
Perfect.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll hold on to that moment.
I tune my guitar from drop D to normal tuning.
I give my burnt CD of my accompanying music because no one would fucking play with me.
I love it.
And I can't do
love
this
it.
song with a drummer.
I can't wait.
Franklin the drummer, solo singer. Let's do it. We're gonna take a little bio break while the audience
I'm so
files
excited
in
for these acts.
this talent show. So get up, stretch, take a drink of water, grab yourself some popcorn because this show is about to go on. We'll be right back. We all know the anticipation that happens as soon as the audience is let in to a theater. Whether or not you were seeing the show or backstage about to perform, it is ripe in this auditorium. Everybody who is performing in the talent show, which only really spans about the course of 5 or 6 acts, are huddled in the one changing room, the one dressing room that Mrs. Applebaum would let them have. And so it's a tight squeeze. There's maybe about like 6 or 7 seats, and there's like a duet. There's 2 duets and some single acts. So y'all are pretty crammed in there. And in the interim of all this, a very wide-eyed, red-nosed Spicoli is in the corner, just riffing to himself, just like practicing, like saying a riff, starting over, saying a riff, starting over, slamming a zinger, starting over, just on this kind of constant loop. Emily, moody little bee Emily, ended up signing up for the talent show. And no one really knows what her talent is, but she is sitting very nervously, the kind of subdued energy to the hyperactive tension that's, you know, flowing through this small space. But for the first time in, I guess, since the altercation at Franklin's house, Jake, Julia, Colin, Zoe, and Kale all find themselves squeezed in a tiny room together, waiting for the show to begin.
I have also changed out of my band t-shirt and jeans into a suit that I rented for this occasion.
And you and Julia, what you have talked about?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
And so she is wearing what? Paint this picture of your suit, Matt.
It's actually not all black. It's like it's tan. It's a tan suit.
Okay. Like khaki tan or like just a beige fabric of a suit.
Beige fabric. No one would, doesn't look that good. No one would ever really wear it, but Colin has never worn a suit before. He has no idea, and he's trying to transition away from like the all black. So
yeah,
the first people who sell timeshares.
I'm imagining that he rented the suit, but it was an afterthought of the shoes situation. So he's just wearing his like nicest pair of black Vans.
Yes, perfect. Yep.
Yeah, so a beige suit and black Vans, hair like as tamed as possible to the side of his head. And Julia is wearing likely the dress that she might have worn to her sophomore formal. So it's far enough away that no one would really remember it as a repeat wear, but it's the dress that she had that isn't prom. It's not her prom dress. It's not her like winter fest dress. It's a nice little kind of cocktail dress. Doesn't match Colin at all. It's like a slim kind of dark navy, really accents her bright blonde Targaryen silver hair that she was hoping to give her the image of her best icon, Phoebe Bridgers. But y'all made the best of it, and you know the chemistry is there, so no one's really gonna feel too bad about the mismatched outfit. And she kind of looks at you and she's like, wow, I'm honestly surprised that your hair goes that flat.
I had to use an entire container of pomade.
Oh my god, he's wearing a helmet.
She touches it and it's like, oh, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm concerned it's not going to come off, but that's a tomorrow problem.
Oh yeah, no, I'll help you. And she like gives you a little smile. And yeah, just kind of sits next to you, a little more subdued than she was when she was getting everything ready. Her job is done. It's now up to Becca to run the show, and she trusts Becca with her whole heart.
Jake just sits in the corner looking like a beat puppy.
Yeah, you do catch Jake. You do catch a couple times. Anytime like she sees. Oof, what am I trying to say? Anytime that she is like getting near Colin or like has the urge to like reach out and like hold his hand or like touch him in any way, she is very aware of your proximity, and you do catch her a couple times like glancing over in your direction before hurriedly like averting her gaze.
Cool.
I'm gonna just be like excitedly kind of talking with Kale, like, oh my god, we like put this whole thing together ourselves, like this is so exciting. Also tomorrow we're literally going to the Burn Baby Bernie Sanders drag show. Like our friendship has grown so much in the matter of a week.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah. No, I'd like. However tonight goes, tomorrow's gonna be so great.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to like blow off some steam tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are you doing after this?
What am I doing after the show?
Yeah.
You know, the talent show?
Yeah.
I'm well, my stepdad came. So I don't know if he's gonna want to like take me out to ice cream or something like that to celebrate, but I'll probably try to like get away from him if I can and hang out with friends, you know.
That's cool. That's cool that you hang out with your folks. Yeah.
Yeah, you should meet him. He's really cool. He just like knows a lot of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, like, yeah. My mom's here, of course, because
Oh, sick.
she's got to see this.
I love meeting people's parents. I feel like it gives you such an idea about who they are.
I love my mom. She's so fun. But I don't know. I might tell her to get out of here because I am not ready for Stephanie to meet her. Oh god.
Oh yeah, like I'm meeting the parent situation.
Even just in passing, I don't know. She got really intense today, and I like her a lot, but like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Stephanie got intense?
Yeah, I mean, like, she's just like really into me, and I don't know. Like, we're in the last semester of school. I mean, it's really fun and it's exciting, but like, we're going to school next year. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm gonna go yet. So like, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
I mean,
this has only been like 5 days, so.
I think it's great to have like a little fun. You're at the end of high school. I think it's like, you know, not everyone gets to experience someone being just like head over heels for them. So you can like enjoy it for now. You don't need to worry too much about what comes after this.
Yeah, I just thought that this was gonna be like this semester in the summer was just gonna be about fun and not worrying about feelings so much. So
Kind of took you by surprise, huh?
yeah.
Does
Anyway.
Stephanie know?
That
Does
kid.
Stephanie know?
I don't want to talk about
Okay.
Stephanie anymore. I
Okay,
don't-
okay. There's enough time afterwards. I'm sure that they will be happy to see you. They're probably so excited to watch you perform, and you're going to be great.
Yes.
Let's do our pre-show ritual, and I
Yeah.
imagine we have some obnoxious warm-up that we're going to do.
Oh my god. Yeah. As soon as you start to do that, Julia hops up and is like, "Oh yeah, does anybody like we do this in drama club all the time? Like, if anybody wants to, get loose and like feel the energy, like." And once again is just back into her like facilitation brain of just like trying to stave off the nerves, and is especially trying to get Emily and you see. Everybody sees, last but not least, the final act of this talent show, Jenna, who did sign up for a slot, and who's a pretty talented singer, is going to do a little solo ballad. And she walks in as Julia is like leading these warm-ups, and immediately Julia sees Jenna, and like for a brief moment falters in her routine, and then shakes it off, keeps going, and immediately is just like, Jenna, what's that one that we do with Miss Applebaum all the time that we really like, that's like the senior one? And Jenna kind of smiles and looks at you briefly, Jake, and then to pull it off looks at everybody in the room and is like, all right, everyone, zip, zap, zop, let's go. And everyone is subjected to a round or 3 of zip, zap, zop until
I always send it
Becca.
to Julia.
You always send it to Julia, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. And Julia wants to send it back to you, but will be very, very mindful of her equity in this situation. Way to go, Sophie. And as the 7 o'clock hour rolls around, Becca pops in and is like, all right, everybody, Spicoli, if you want to get on stage, I'm gonna cue you in. I don't know what you're gonna say, so just like be chill about it. And is everybody ready? And she like looks at y'all like a little camp counselor, stage manager, waiting for cue.
Let's do it.
Okay, break legs, everyone! And then she runs away in her all black outfit and goes to the lighting booth, and Spicoli takes his place on the stage. And you assume that the show has started because you just hear a smattering of clapping from the audience and the booming voice of Spicoli on the microphone saying, all right, ladies and germs. Everybody, welcome to the very first annual Winter Talent Show. All eyes on me. Yeah, I definitely didn't forget what it was called, for sure. And he goes on and on with a too long bit that kind of rambles a little bit. You hear some coughing from the audience. And then he says, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to this evening's first talented, and some could say the most talented. And Jake, right before he says your name, you have a flashback of earlier this afternoon of Spicoli meeting you in the locker room and giving you very, very good, very, very special blend of I don't know about drugs. And I didn't want to read about it because I didn't want my FBI agent to know that I was looking up drugs.
My FBI agent.
Whatever FBI agent has been assigned to my Google searches.
Yeah, I mean, I've already given it to Ms. Jensen anyway.
Yeah. So you just have that flashback, and for a minute, you wonder what happened to Miss Jensen. You
Yeah.
haven't heard anything since she shut herself in that room.
I know.
But you're not going to let it get to you now because he says, Jake Donovan! And you open the door to the stage.
I stand to walk out of the green room, and I'm just kind of very humbly nod my head and act half-heartedly excited and maybe a little sad a little bit. And then on my way out of the green room, I make sure that only Colin can see me. I give him a little wink. And then I walk out of the green room and I open the door and I go out on stage.
Break a leg.
I don't say anything. I walk out. I can just describe my act now?
Yeah.
I walk out on stage and it's just silence. And I walk into a spotlight and kind of look over the crowd and take a big shaky breath. I look up, say, "This one's for you, Dad." And I
Oh my fucking god.
and I lean into the mic and I kind of like nod in the back towards Becca, and a piano on the CD just plays my single starting note. And I just start,
Oh my god.
"You were here before, couldn't look you in the eye." And I sing "Creep" by Radiohead.
My
and
God.
And I really get into it. And
Yeah.
honestly, like Jake, you know, he's playing into it to like play up the sadness, but also, despite being centuries old, this might be one of the only times that Jake actually does feel good.
Yeah.
And so he really relishes in this song.
Mhm.
And he, like on the big, long run that's at towards the end of the song, he's like, his arms are spread out and he's just belting his face off. And then right at the end.
Wait, y'all. I have a friend who's watching texting me that they can't hear
What?
Zach.
Really?
Yeah.
My mic's going up and down. I haven't got any text from Emily. Maybe they just didn't hear me sing. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh,
Can I
don't
hear
know.
now?
Can they hear me now?
Hey, friend,
Oh.
can you confirm? Can you hear? Also, thank you for watching.
Yes, thanks.
It's Danny. It's Danny.
That's so.
Okay, I don't know.
The
I have
level's
another
going up
friend
and down.
saying that she can hear, so I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
god.
I
All
might have
right,
just gotten too
the
close to
press
the
is
mic.
already coming in on this
Yeah.
performance, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a press conference after this.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're totally
Sorry to
fine.
interrupt.
Thank you.
You're
Always
totally
tell
fine.
us.
Yeah,
if
it
you
might have
can't
been because I brought the mic closer in the singing part, but yeah.
You're too passionate.
Yeah.
hear.
I'm just singing "Creep" by Radiohead, and he gets really, really into it. Jake feels actually in this, you know, like "you're so fucking special." He's just like, he's really into those
Yeah.
lyrics. And then right at the end, the last two, "I don't belong here," he cries.
Yeah.
And then he will just kind of like bow his head and walk off stage.
And Zach, just because I want to try it and I want to see what happens.
Okay.
What is your highest stat and what is your lowest stat?
My highest, I am hot 2, and then Tide, volatile, and dark at a -1.
Volatile and dark at -1. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll to turn this audience on.
Yeah.
And not in a
Everyone.
sexual way, just in a way
Yeah.
of, are they gonna love you?
That is double 4s on the dice for a total of 8, and why not? I'll pull my string on every member of the audience to make it a 9.
plus 2, right?
Oh yeah, +2, so that's an 11 total. I didn't even have to
So
use
yeah,
the
so
string.
you a beat goes by, and for a second, just for a second,
Mm-hmm.
you think, oh, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am.
Uh-huh.
And then a roar, a literal roar comes over the crowd. Like already a standing ovation, just like someone screaming in the back. You see Becca from the booth, like wiping a little bit of a tear away. And anyone that you might come into contact with at any part of this session, you now have a string on because whoever you're going to be talking to is going to be in this audience.
Amazing.
So just know that, even if it's a double string.
Thank you.
And then, I'm going to just go ahead, and it says that they can choose a reaction from below. Everybody is just going to be like jumping over themselves to just support you and give themselves to you in any way that you need.
I've won them over, the sympathy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that's your act. You're feeling
Now go
pretty
kiss my
good.
ex-girlfriend publicly, Colin. Go ahead.
Fuck you.
All right. And then as that dies down, Spicoli comes out, riffs a couple more bits. The audience starts shuffling, getting kind of antsy as it goes a little too long. And to the point where Becca has to kind of flash him off. He says, all right, enough of that. Our second act of the evening, gonna be hard to follow that one up, is a duet by our very own Randall Falls local band, Unicorn Tuesdays. Let's give it up for Colin and Julia. And the audience kind of clapped. No one really knows what Unicorn Tuesdays is or what their sound is like. But
do we pass each other? Like, were they came up and are they like waiting in the wings?
Yeah, so they would have been waiting in the wings because now that the show has started, everybody's like on deck and stuff. So Julia and Colin are waiting in the wings, like having seen the end of your performance.
I would like to, as I'm walking away, wipe a single tear off of my eye and look at Colin and say, good luck. And I'm attempting to shut him down.
You're a weirdo.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with Cole, Zach.
I honestly kind of want to feel this one. That is a 5 and a 4 on the die. That's a 9. And
9.
Cold, I have +1, so that's a 10.
So a 10. So you, yeah. So, what do you want since you've...
Do you have a string on me, Colin?
No.
Okay, I'll just take a string on you.
Okay. So, Colin, you have a string on Colin.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect.
And you, like, walk by, say good luck, and Colin, you feel Julia squeeze your hand a little bit tighter and whisper in your ear, you fucking got this, okay?
You got this. Let's do
We've
this.
got this. And she like
Squeeze her
brings her
hand.
hand up to like kiss your hand, and you go on stage.
All right. I got my acoustic guitar
Yeah.
strapped
And
around my shoulder.
And she like goes like straight for the microphone.
You're like bringing out the chord, like it's
Yeah.
a little awkward. I mean, I know it's well, it could be. I don't know if it's acoustic amped, but
And she goes into the microphone and she says, all right, thank you so much, everybody. For anybody who's ever heard Unicorn Tuesday, this is going to be a little different of a sound, so get ready.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That was just natural.
I walk up to my own mic next to her and I wink at her, and
You see a little red.
I give like the goofiest, widest smile that I've ever given. And I start strumming slowly, and I lean into the mark, and I say, I can show you the world.
And she takes over.
Shining,
Yeah. Good. I was going to say she goes with you.
shining, And splendid.
What
Tell
happened?
me, princess.
And she's like, yeah.
Now, when did you last let your heart decide?
And then you hum
Whole
"Whole World."
I'm just staring
A
at her.
new fantastic point. of view. And she just starts singing with you, and you both. It's a soulful like cover of A Whole New World.
Amazing.
It's not the like poppy Disney. It's not a love song. It's got kind of like an edgier, slower, like a little bit sad tone to it.
I take like a blues guitar solo in the middle of it.
Yeah. And she's like holding the mic like she's in a freaking Tiny Desk concert and like
Amazing.
is just like jamming to it. And Colin, I'm gonna need you to roll to turn this audience on.
All right, I
Roll well.
At the end of the performance, I lean into the mic and I say, "Julia, will you be my girlfriend?"
My God.
And she like makes a show
Classless.
of putting the mic on the stand again and turns to you and just takes your face and very tenderly kisses you on the lips.
All right, so I'm gonna roll the turn on, and
Yep.
I got a +2 to hot, so
Hey.
Hey.
We're just as hot as each other.
yeah. So,
Together we are just as hot.
I've rolled terribly this entire time, so hopefully this is the one. 10. That's a 10.
Yes. So almost as loud, if not maybe a slight bit louder. Just with actually, let me see if I can like
Oh,
subsidize with a
Jake
Julia
is
roll.
Furious.
And I'm just doing a straight roll. So she got a 9. So pretty hot roll here. Y'all kiss and you get a little lost in the moment and the audience can tell, and like you hear wolf whistles, you hear like yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that because Julia rolled a 9 and I'm not giving her any stats, the audience gives themselves to you, Colin, and just based solely on the fact that it's like a little bit more attention than she's really used to getting, especially for PDA. Julia like pulls back and like kind of curls in on herself and gets a little embarrassed and shy, giving you another opportunity to like comfort her and show her that it's okay
Yeah.
on stage in front of everybody.
Yeah, put my arm around her, and I'm
Yeah.
smiling, looking at the audience with stars in my eyes.
Yeah. And Spicoli comes out and says, "Oh wow, it's not even Valentine's Day yet. Give it up for these 2 lovebirds and check out Unicorn Tuesdays. I think you have a song on Spotify," as you like go off the stage. Just audiences clapping, going wild.
Real quick, as this happens and as the end happens, Jake is like really upset, and he's gonna
Yeah.
go to Jenna.
Yeah.
And from the outside perspective, looks like he's going to Jenna for some consoling.
Yeah.
But he's also going to ask Jenna where she plans on taking Julia.
So she's like been sitting. You've noticed as this hypnosis has been going on, Jake, the
Mhm.
longer it kind of goes on, the less autonomous Jenna has been this week. And
Yeah,
so in these moments where you are not, directly hypnotizing her, directly telling her what to do, you don't know the long-term effects of this hypnosis, and
And I
you
don't
can kind of
care.
sense, and you don't care, but you sense that you are kind of sucking the soul out of Jenna
course.
without even having to like feed on her.
Yeah, she won't be alive much
and-
longer anyway, so it's okay.
So, whoa. So you see
Spoiler.
Jenna in the dressing room, and she's just kind of like mildly catatonic. It's not like concerning,
It's so
but she's just
horrible.
sitting as if a sim
Not
with no
concerning.
action, essentially. Like she's
Ugh.
not like dead stare, but
Of
she's just
course.
like has nothing to do, no
Autopilot.
action. Yeah, autopilot.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah, so that's where you find her, and you ask her
Um,
where
Yeah, I just kind of like looked down and I'm like, "Man, it's really hard to hear all those people whooping and hollering. I mean, we just broke up. Like, it just feels a little classless. I don't know."
Jake, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna turn out fine.
You're
we
right.
have a plan,
You're right.
and we've got this.
Where do you plan on taking her when you apologize to her during Kale and Zoe's act?
Well, there's one place that Miss Applebaum said not to go.
Perfect. You don't have to say anything else.
Okay, Jake, I won't.
He leans in and he kisses her on the cheek and he leans back out. Man, I couldn't do this without you, Jen.
That's so sweet, Jake.
I know. And he turns and he walks away. As he walks
she just
away,
slowly sits back down and continues her autopilot.
he's gonna text his sister and say, "Behind the scrim, be waiting. Let's play."
She sends back an emoji of just the 3 drops, like the raindrops, and a stop sign. But it's like, that's like drops of blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just say,
Cool.
Meet me behind the scrim and let's play.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then I will just wait until Zoe and Kale's. Well, until I see Jenna and Julia go back there.
Cool. So as we move on, Spicoli continues his MC. Next up in the lineup is Little Moody Bee Emily, who gets on stage and just it's very quiet for a while, almost to the point where a few of you peek out and think that maybe she got stage fright and like whatever, and then you just hear the of like all of the lights go off stage and a single spotlight goes up on her, and you just hear her say, "I'm going to be doing some poetry."
I knew it.
My wonder Hades, you inspire me to write. How I hate the way you gaze, throne, and dash, invading my mind, day and night, always dreaming about the whisper pash.
Don't have to be.
And it keeps going on for about 10 minutes of slam, verse, sonnet, limerick at the very, like just poetry upon poetry, to the point where you're like, well, this is where the show is going to end. And as soon as she's finished, she says, "Thank you," and walks off stage. You hear a couple feeble claps, some coughing, and Spicoli says, "All right, well, we all have talents in other ways, so let's give it up for Emily."
There's just one guy in the back.
Yeah. And next on the lineup is Act 4, which is Jenna. As soon as you hear Spicoli call her name, Jake, are you in the proximity of her?
Yeah.
Okay. You like hear them say her name, and she does not move to get up.
I look over at Jenna and I say, "Honey, now it's time to show your talent."
Oh. And she like snaps to and she says, "Oh, my song."
Good
And
luck.
she stands
You're gonna
up.
kill it.
"Thank you. We are gonna kill it."
The song. You're
And
gonna
she
do great.
walks off. She walks out of the stage, or out of the dressing room and onto the stage, and takes the mic and belts out a really, really standard version of "On My Own" from Les Mis. And it's not the best, it's not the worst. She has a good voice, but it is a high schooler singing on my own from Les Mis. And
I was hoping for
she's
a
not-
little. I got no strings. They are.
to hold me down. No, I was like, what would a high school girl
No,
think is like the pinnacle of her career? And
it.
people clap. People are like, oh yeah, wow, she's really, she'll be great in whatever degree she decides to pursue, and whatever job she decides to take after she pursues that degree. I'm not bashing theater. It's fine. And last but not least, Spicoli comes out and says, all right, everyone, the grand finale. Thank you for coming to tonight's first ever Winter Blues talent, whatever the hell this is. And we thought we'd leave you on a crazy little note for this small town. We have a special act, a special duo, Zoe and Kale. Take it away. And the audience claps. You see Jenna you see Becca in the booth so excited. And everybody who has been in the show, anybody who's worked on the show, is coming to the wings to watch this performance. And Kale and Zoe, you make your way to the stage.
Come out, and Kale does like a look to see like, cool, Julia's over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people are all watching. Because Julia promised that we would have all the attention.
Yeah. Yep.
And come out and just be, hey, everybody, just a quick caveat. Zoe here is going to be performing a hypnosis on me, and I just want to say that if anybody feels impulsed by this hypnosis, that is absolutely natural and normal, but it's not meant for you. So I just want to give a quick consent. If you are susceptible to such things, I suggest you leave the room. But if that intrigues you, stay right where you are.
Jake can't help but chuckle.
You hear the shuffle of like one supremely
Franklin's
like
too high.
older grandmother figure. And shut up, Zach and Franklin.
Sorry.
I was literally about to be like, a grandma and Franklin both leave. And you hear a little whimper from Franklin being like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And he leaves
The old woman's calming him
the
down.
room. And the old woman is like offended. Like, this is not of the Lord. What
That's
is this?
so funny.
And they both
She's
leave.
like, I've had that happen to me one too many times.
And Kale, that gives you a little satisfaction. What you're doing is a little bit edgy and a little bit abnormal.
Oh.
So yeah, the rest of the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think we get into position, and then I think we've been working enough with Becca that we have kind of a audio light experience. It's very emotional. We're dealing with the connection between our minds and our bodies.
Yeah. Is there music in this?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there's music. And
Manchester Symphony Orchestra.
Obviously,
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
obviously, we can't role play both of these at the same time. But as soon as they start their act, Jake would look at Jenna and like nod, like
Yeah,
now's the time.
yep.
Yeah.
And we'll, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then I think that I am like built into the piece is like this push and pull of like control and over like your own mental state and then over someone else's mental state, and I'm like going through motions of like things that I've seen on YouTube again.
Mhm.
I'm like not against it if it like works, because Kale seems very open to it, but I know that I have not like gained some new power or something to do this. But Kale's, I think, seems willing to like kind of put themselves into a trance-like state.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kale is very like into the movement, into the trance-like state of being, especially now doing it live on stage and like locking in very hard on Zoe as like a way of like being present and not being like overwhelmed by being on the stage. And it is very like push and pull and like going into that like animalistic movement that was part of that like level of taking the like that bit, the wild hunt.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like willingly kind of trying to like drop into that kind of trance state and then feel that flow.
I will say, as you're doing this, Zoe, the light flashes and you see the visage of stepdad Steve in the audience at a certain point of this, and he nods to you, and you sense and feel this overwhelming like pride in yourself. And with that, and with the desire that you showed to prove yourself, and with the accountability that you are ready to take should you fail again, you get 2 experience points from stepdad Steve, which is enough for you to get a power from another skin if you so desire.
Okay. Are we gonna ignore the string that Kale has on me?
This is supplied from a dark power. This is experience supplied from a dark power in
Okay.
the last moments of a 3-session long shot.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Sorry, Avery Elder, we are ignoring your rules.
Plus, I would say Kale is willingly sort of buying into this anyway. I would think that would also add to the subversion of that rule.
Yeah. If you're on board with that too, Sophie, I thank you for adding that consent.
Yeah, because I'm also willing to like roll to try to figure out some way. Because I think the only way to get someone to lose a string on you is to shut them down, right?
There, you can also do. Oh yeah, I guess the fastest way would be for either them to use the string on you or for you to shut them down.
Okay. I don't.
I think in this case, in the nature of this performance, I'm kind of like giving myself up to this, so I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you could be using a string on her, which would make you lose the string.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that.
Okay.
That's viable. Because
So
I
I
think
think
it's
that
an intimate thing, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm in.
You've shut down a part of yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To be present in the moment. So then I kind of am surprised that as I'm like going through this movement that we've choreographed a bunch of times, like locking eyes with Kale as we like dance around each other, do whatever silly things we're doing, to like feel this kind of extra surge of something like unfamiliar in me, and to feel that I am like channeling that towards Kale. And I think we're becoming even more in sync than we ever have before. And I think that up until now, like this is definitely not Zoe's like first choice to like go up and do a weird movement piece, but like she's kind of been like willing to do whatever to do something with Kale. And this is the first time that it's like she's like, oh, I'm locked in because I know that I like actually have like power in this situation now. Like I know what I suddenly am confident about what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what do I do with hypnosis? Let's see here. I get them to do something for me.
Yeah.
First, you got to roll to turn them on.
Roll with.
Well, you don't roll. You don't roll to turn them on, but you're rolling with Hana, basically.
Yeah.
Rolling with Hana. Okay. Okay, I got an 8. Minus 1. Getting up to a 9 doesn't do anything, does it?
No,
Okay, so I
it's
have
still-
a 7.
Okay. So here's what I'll
And
say.
what I'm wishing for them to do is to, like, when they meet my stepdad, to, like, kind of give themselves over to him.
Yeah. So I'll say, and Kale, I kind of want to let you decide if you want to how this goes down. But if you are being hypnotized during this performance, and it says the hypnosis works, but you choose one, and they realize exactly what you've done to them, they fuck up your commands, or their sanity is unhinged. So in the moment that you meet Stepdad Steve, if you meet Stepdad Steve, I'll let you decide which one that is.
Oh God.
And you don't have to decide now. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So while this is happening, we are going to move towards a parallel moment in time. Just as Jake said, as soon as the performance starts, Jake nods to Jenna, and Jenna activates slightly. And you, Colin, you feel Jenna move kind of between you and Julia. And she touches Julia on the shoulder and she says, "Hey, I'm really sorry. Can I talk to you for a minute?" And Julia kind of says, I don't know if I have anything to say to you." And Jenna says, "Please, Julia, I just want to apologize." And as soon as she says apologize, Julia's face softens. She looks at you, Colin, and she says, "I'll be right back."
Are
And she like squeezes your hand. Yeah. No, I want to make amends. She's my friend. She's my friend. And she says, "I'll be okay. I'll be okay."
If you need help, just yell. I will be right here.
Okay, you're sweet. And she'll go off with Jenna, and as they make their way around to the double doors that lead to the backstage area, Jenna starts to open the door, and Julia says, "No, Miss Applebaum, we're not supposed to go back there." And Julia says, "Please, it's like quiet back here. I don't want to interrupt the performance. I'm sorry. I really just want to do this, just me and you." And Julia says, okay, but it, like, in and out, Jen. I don't want to get caught. She's already stretching herself for this. And Julia's like, "It won't take long. I promise. This is so stupid. I've been practicing." And Julia is like, okay. And they go into the off-limits, sharp, pointy, full of shards of wood and nails and power tools backstage area of the stage.
I walk over and kind of stand near that closed door. I'm not going to go in. I'm just standing near it.
Hard noted. Are you already in there, Jake? Or do you? Okay. So somehow Jake got in there. And Jake, from wherever you are, you see Jenna pull Julia towards the middle, between two precariously positioned, half-painted flats that are leaned up haphazardly against lower down rig for lighting. Not OSHA, not high school safe, not even appropriate. But Jenna kind of leads her back and like takes Julia's hands and says, "Thank you so much for meeting me.
Yes.
I just really.
Thank you so much, Julia. And I step out from the darkness.
Jake, what the fuck? And she like looks at Jenna and immediately is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Julia, if you want Colin to survive this evening, you'll keep your voice very low.
Jake, what the fuck? Survive this evening? He's probably like right outside. I could probably just scream right now and he would come in. You can't fucking scare me anymore.
Julia, do you want to test me? Is that
Test.
really what you want to do?
Jake, quit being a freak. Like, we're done, okay? Like,
You know what? We are done. But I just wanted you to come back here so that I could tell you how much you meant to me and how sorry I am for everything that happened. And you know what? Maybe you and I can start hanging out as friends, and maybe you and Colin are a really good idea, but before all that happens, I'm just wondering if you and I can have one final night together. So we should go. And I'm gonna try to hypnotize her.
ew. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yikes.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna roll this in the roll 20, so you know I'm not fucking around. I have a +2 to this.
And you don't have any strings on her, right?
I do not. No, I have 2 strings
Yeah.
on her. Yeah.
You
But
have
it doesn't-
2?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter. I rolled a 4, even with my 2 strings. That goes up
Okay.
to a 6.
6.
So I'm just like looking at her, trying to make the hypnotize work, and it's not working,
Yeah.
and I'm getting very frustrated.
Take that experience points.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's okay. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you at 3?
Uh-huh.
Okay, amazing. So whatever you need to do with that. But you like push your eyes into her, trying to rip into her consciousness the way that you had done for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And the exact way that that Jenna is feeling right now is the exact place that you had Julia for the time that you were together, and that's why she feels the way she feels. That's why she is so willing to be done with this. There was no connection, there was no love, there was no care. It was purely she was your toy, and now that you are done with her and she is left as a shell, she sees and feels you try to do that, but because you have been so tired from hypnotizing Jenna for this entire week, she cannot let you and will not let you penetrate her mind the way that you had for so long.
Yeah.
And that falls flat, and she looks at you in your eye and she says, "You are a fucking monster, Jake. Colin!" And she starts running
I
towards
kick
the
the door
door.
down immediately.
Before she can get too very far, I try to grab her arm if I can.
Lash out physically.
Okay. I get a -1 to this.
Haha.
That's a 3 + 6, which is a 9, -1, which is 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the 8.
Cool.
So I harm them.
Yeah, so you harm them, but you also get to pick.
Ooh, I'm gonna become my darkest self.
Yes, in the last 10 minutes.
For the
and-
vampire, it says, "Everyone is your pawn, your plaything. You hurt them and make them vulnerable for sport, like a cat does with a mouse. Maybe you'll even drain them dry, though you'll certainly take your time first. You escape your darkest self when you're put in your rightful place by someone more powerful than you."
Amazing.
So you burst in.
As the second that Julia says my name, it's like I was hovering against the door. I just kick it open. And do you look different?
I would say you don't notice too much of a physical difference, but a haunting aloofness you see in Jake. His facade has completely dropped. And while he has a hold of
Julia.
he kind of like cracks his neck and looks over at Colin. Fine. I guess we'll do this the fun way. Veronica?
And
I just hope that she appears out of the shadows.
Before we get to that,
Uh-huh.
we are going to cut back to Zoe and Kale on stage. Your beautiful, evocative, hypnotic, wild hunt of a dance is coming to an end. Can both of you roll to turn this audience on?
Amazing.
I would love to.
And are you all cool to go just a little bit over 10?
Mm-hmm.
Just to bring it to an end? Cool.
Yeah. I got an 8.
An 8.
I got a 9.
Amazing. So the audience
Gets embarrassed and acts awkward.
so yeah, some of them are,
because I think like this is a performance that is probably uncomfortable
yeah,
based on the fact that it's at a school and it was not specifically erotic, but it
no,
was very
sensual.
Yeah, it was very sensual. Yeah.
and it's something like yes, this is a like pretty open-minded town, but it's still a small town off as like a suburb of a small city. And so like this isn't something that you can just go like the fact that there's the Bernie Sanders
Burn, baby, burn.
Burn Baby Burn, thank you, the Burn Baby Burn drag show in Grand
Don't forget.
Rapids is like one thing, but this is like a small place. Like there isn't drag as much. There's not like outside of like the classic like Tennessee Williams playing at the community theater, like there's not a lot of this kind of art, so a lot of people don't really know what to do with it. So people are into it. People see the passion, they see that you worked really hard on this, they appreciate the chemistry, but they are kind of confused as to why it was the finale when Colin and Julia really just stole the show and maybe they should have been the finale. And so they're clapping, they're standing up, but you do see, Zoe, out of the corner of your eye, stepdad Steve giving you a standing ovation. And he is looking directly at you, just grinning. And to anybody else, it would just look like a dad proud of their daughter, but you know exactly what that grin means. And it's that you have won.
Heart in my throat.
Oh, yeah.
Great. I
It's like, oh my god.
Go ahead.
That felt so different. Also, is that your stepdad?
Yeah. I imagine are we like, I don't know, the show's ended.
So yeah, let's say, and we're gonna come back to what was happening backstage, but as soon as the show's over, Spicoli comes out and says, and that's the night, everybody. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I was told to say that. And he leaves and goes off stage. And yeah, pretty much similar to any show, the audience can start mingling. There's no real changing, so everybody just kind of hops down from the wings, goes to see the people that came to see them, and stepdad Steve is standing where he was standing, giving you a standing ovation.
Great. Okay, so yeah, that's my stepdad. He gave us a standing ovation and kind of like roll my eyes. Do you want to meet him?
I mean, yeah.
Come say hi. Maybe we can find Stephanie so that you can come talk to my dad so they don't find your mom first.
Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, let's just go meet him.
All right, come on. We'll go over to stepdad Steve. I imagine that I'm looking for Stephanie because I know that she is like part of this surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
Kale knows that they're meeting my dad, but not like why.
Yeah, you don't see Stephanie, weirdly, in this audience.
Okay.
she's kind of short, so maybe she's getting lost in the crowd, or maybe she was saying hi. Like she's talked to Emily before, so maybe they're discussing poetry and prose. But yeah, neither of you really see Stephanie.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm like,
are we at Stepdad Steve?
yeah.
Hi, Steve. Or can I call you Daddy too?
Oh.
And
They
he
went with
looks
sanity
at
unhinged. I understand now.
he looks at you, Zoe, and says, "Hi, Kale. It's nice to meet you. You can call me whatever you want."
I heard you were going to take us out for ice cream.
And I'm like standing right behind Kale and to Stepdad Steve. I'm like, first time. I haven't done it before.
Stepdad Steve looks at you, and you,
Too many slices.
for a minute, fear that this is unfixable. That the pride that
Like a deal
he just
breaker.
gave to you is going to be rescinded. And he looks at you, Zoe, and he looks at Kale, and he says, "Kale, how would you like to come with Zoe and I to get some ice cream tonight?"
Yeah, sounds really great.
All right, let's go. The car's running. And he turns around, ushers you to go in front of him, and you feel a slight hand on your back, Zoe, and from it feel like the warmth and the heat radiating from your dark power, taking back the hypnosis and giving you 2 experience points in return.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to think about whether I would go with, like, if I would go with him to ice cream, or if I would at this point just kind of be like,
I don't want to see it.
bye.
Yeah.
Kale would not question that at all, because Kale fucked up the orders and is trying to give themselves to
Oh, okay.
just-
Give themselves to...
that's
I get it.
what Kale was told to do.
To give them
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I somehow knew that was going to be the one you picked. And that's why I was like, I want to see if Sophie proves to me that I do know them. So yeah, you go off, Kale, with Stepdad Steve. At a certain point, Zoe, you kind of peel off unbeknownst, because now there is a new target, and you know exactly what this process is going to be. And you see out of the window of the school hallway, Kale get into the front seat with Stepdad Steve and drive away, almost disappearing into the evening. We're gonna cut back to Jake's plead for Veronica. And Jake, you say, what did you say? You were like, Veronica.
I just said, fine, let's do this the hard way. Veronica?
And you wait for a second. Don't feel anything. Don't sense her. Nothing happens. And Julia looks at you like, Veronica? Your sister? You were gonna come get your sister to help you? Jake, I've been texting her all week. She's like devastated. Like, she's not gonna come help you harm me. Also, she's a woman. Like, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that she's hungry.
Jake, let go of Julia right now.
Oh,
Yeah, Jake, let
stop
go of
acting
me.
like you've grown some balls, Colin, and shut up.
I pick up a sharp object from the ground. I
Okay.
am not fucking around, Jake. Let go of her right now.
Fine, you'll do. And I grab Colin by the collar, and I'm going to attempt to take Colin out of this room with the new move that I chose, Limitless, from the ghost skin, and I grab Colin and lift him up in the air and try to fly out of this room.
What do you have to do for that?
I don't
You
know.
said it's in the ghost.
The Limitless, I can just automatically fly. The roll, I'm assuming, would be to take Colin with.
Go ahead and roll to run away.
Okay.
And you can get through, you can fly, you're fine. The runaway is gonna be for like you to house Colin in that.
Okay, perfect. -1. I got a 7 -1, which is a 6. So I'll do I think I gained a string on you when I shut you down, and I haven't used it since then, right? So yeah, I'll use my string to bring it up to a 7.
Okay. So you.
Oh, okay. I saw the options, and if it is up to me to choose one, I would love to.
Do it.
I think I have an idea.
Do it.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
So I grab Colin, and trust me here, Matt. I grab you and I take you out of the room, and I fly with you. And I land outside of the auditorium, and I'm like very cockily, like, finally, I can take my revenge out on you. But the thing that I'm going to choose is I run into something worse. And waiting for me outside of the auditorium, because I have failed, is my entire family.
And you see your. Do you want to describe them?
You see 5 individuals total. You see a man with black slicked back hair and gray temples, tall, lanky, with a crooked nose. You see a older woman with auburn hair tied up into a bun, green eyes. You see 2 twin males, both with blonde, almost white hair and piercing blue eyes, that look very similar. And then Veronica, who you saw earlier, a little bit smaller than the rest, but long, wavy black hair and green eyes. And I look at all of them, and I instinctively let go of Colin. No, wait, he's here. I have him.
Jake, you're done.
No, I have him. I got him. I got one of them.
You see Veronica step in front of the family, and you notice that she has a little bit of blood on the corner of her mouth, and blood covering her hands. And she says, "All right, I'm going to speak on behalf of the family because I had the fortune to eat tonight, and so I'm clear-headed. And boy, when I tell you, what I had was sweet.
The fuck is
Tasted
this?
like a nice, crisp, inflation-busting Arizona iced tea. And so, Jake, you're done.
This was an ordeal, Veronica.
You're done. Drop the human."
I let Colin go. I for sure have been put in my place by someone powerful than me, and my darkest self is now over. And Jake looks the smallest that he's ever looked in this moment.
I don't know what's going on here. This is fucked up, but wait, is that your dad?
You see the older man step up, and he sizes you up, Colin. And then you see like his pupils pulse a little bit. And he leans down to you and says, "You have 5 seconds to get away from me before you become my dinner.
I am
Leave."
going to roll a keep your cool.
Okay.
Ooh.
What are
It
you?
feels-
What is your name? What you're afraid of?
This vampire?
I just wanted you to say it. I just
Yeah.
wanted you to say it.
I
Say it
think
out
the vampire.
loud.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, so I have a -1 for
I know
this.
what you are.
Oh no, Bella.
Arnar.
Arnar.
7.
Okay. So let me just read.
So I
Let's see what's in here.
asked the
Yeah.
MC a question about the situation. My question about the situation is, am I going to? I really want to humiliate Jake in this moment, but also I'm afraid that I'm going to be ripped apart
Yeah.
by a vampire or whatever. I just flew through a wall and through
Uh-huh.
the ceiling. I feel like I'm reeling. So my question is this person's threat to me serious?
So as you're staring down, attempting to just impress Julia, humiliate Jake, prove to yourself that you have the cojones essentially to stand up for who and what you believe in. You see this man's pupils pulse, and you see Veronica covered in blood, and you know that if you do not get the hell out of here, he does not know you. He does not care about you. He will harm you.
Colin, wait, please don't leave me, Colin. Colin, don't leave me. We're friends, right, Colin?
Jake,
And this is humiliating for Jake.
you're not even worth Julia stepping on you. And I look at the rest of the people, and I've run as fast as I possibly
Colin,
can.
no! You coward!
And before Colin even gets out the door, and Colin, if you look back, this is what you see. The bloody hands of Veronica around Jake's neck, lifting him up into the air as his entire family circles around him. And then the doors shut. And that is where we're going to end this episode
Amazing.
and this series on a perfect blackout for everybody's situation.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, players. Everybody take a deep breath. You pushed yourself. We said before in the break, this might be the most feral Monsterhearts we've ever had.
Yeah, for
And they're just going to probably keep getting more feral. But thank you so much to everybody who was watching us and telling us about our volumes and keeping us honest and accountable, because we love that, because we can't hear ourselves from where you're sitting. So thank you. Upcoming stuff. Wednesday is the rescheduled episode 3 of season 3 of The Remains, our homebrew system that takes place in the world of The Last of Us, as if you're not getting enough of The Last of Us from HBO and your constant replays of the game. Oh, that's just me? Fine. So tune in for that. Will this group decide to bomb the Fedra in the Atlanta QZ? There's no way to know until you watch. And then Sunday we will be back continuing our D&D fantasy campaign in the world of Tearoth, maybe, who's to say. So we'll be continuing that with a little help at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And then after that, no Monsterhearts Monday, but get ready for announcement. Can we announce it? Can we say it? March Madness is back. So keep an eye out on our socials. If y'all got to tune in last year for March Madness, it's a 4-part every other Monday series DM'd by our lovely Matt.
We're all Matt down here.
Listen. What?
I was trying to we're all, what is it? We're all mad. I don't know. We're all mad. The Mad Hatter.
You got it.
Said,
I think I'm flattered.
I think I'm flattered. So that's coming up. Tune into our socials. Monsterhearts is not done, though. We are anticipating some future plans with this system. So Keep an eye out on our socials at Charmed Persons and all major platforms except Twitter. Our YouTube and Spotify are almost all the way updated. I think YouTube is all the way. Spotify is catching up. So if you want to catch up on some stuff, we got you. But otherwise, those are our announcements. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for going to some dark and sexy places with me tonight and with these lovely players. And classic, as always, everybody say bye.
Ah.